What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you some more Divinity Original Sin 2 lore. Now, I say Original Sin 2 lore specifically because that is primarily the only game that this particular subject, the Aeteran, is actually mentioned in. As such, spoilers for Divinity Original Sin 2. But with that out of the way, let's dive right into this. First of all, you might be asking yourself, what is the Aeteran? Because I may have played Divinity Original Sin 2, and I don't remember hearing about that. Well, it's actually pretty easy to miss. But nonetheless, it is very integral to the plot of Original Sin 2, actually. So what the Aeteran is actually just a wand. However, it seems capable of holding basically unlimited amounts of source. And we can actually learn in the second act of the game that it was created by Aeteran, who is actually an Eternal as well, and seemingly who the wand was named after. Now, Aeteran is one of the more difficult fights of Act 2, actually. And prior to fighting her, you can have a conversation in which whatever character you're playing has a relevant god, that god will want to speak to Aeteran. Because Aeteran is, of course, an Eternal just the way they used to be, or kind of still are, but elevated. But more importantly, in the Black Pits area, which is where we can actually find Aeteran, we can find where the Aeteran was. And it becomes very quickly obvious that the Magisters were looking for it and found it. However, at this point in the game, we wouldn't actually know what it was. Aeteran will, again, actually reference it and say that it's already gone. What it actually is and what it does is left intentionally vague here in the story. And it doesn't come up again until the end of Act 3, where again, it is actually very easy to miss. Basically, when you are at the Well of Ascension and you're about to claim Divinity, we of course get stopped by Dallas. But what's easy to miss here is how she stops us. Basically, she soaks up all of the source in the Well of Ascension with the Aeteran. This is how she's able to carry and transport the sheer quantity of source in that source lake that would normally be able to transcend someone into godhood. And it doesn't end there. When we actually make it to Lucian's tomb, we can actually see the Aeteran floating above him on his throne, because it is again holding basically most of the source that he needs to enact his plan of purging the source. So in this cutscene, when you defeat Lucian and if you choose to claim Divinity, what you are actually claiming is the source inside of the Aeteran. So you're actually kind of claiming a physical object that you're then absorbing all of the source out of. Now, beyond its obvious implications in the game, and thus relevancy to the plot, unfortunately we don't know much else about this. How Aeteran created the thing, why it was created specifically. The gods themselves actually seem to have thought it was more of a myth than a real thing. But as evidenced in the game, it is very much so a real thing. And, due to what it does, the gods are naturally quite afraid of the thing. Now, truthfully, personal opinion, I think the thing is basically just a plot device. While it's certainly very interesting, why exactly Aeteran wanted to make this thing, and when she was successful, why she didn't use it herself to grant herself some sort of divinity, is unknown. So even with this, there are questions that remain unresolved, which again just kind of points to me thinking it's just a plot device, because the biggest plot hole, in my opinion, is if she created this wand that could channel unlimited amounts of source, why didn't she just use it to claim Divinity herself? There we go, guys. Kind of just a short little lore video about the Aeteran and its creator, Aeteran. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.